My name is Tom Greitz, and I have a very long NACADA story. And in terms of thinking about it, my involvement with NACADA actually happened 2 years before NACADA was an organization. At the first National Conference on Academic Advising, which was in 1977, and we weren't chartered for an association until 1979. So, and I have been to all 42 of those conferences, so that's kind of a record that I'm very proud of. At that first conference, we realized that an association was necessary, that we really wanted to do that. So a group, about 20 of us, started a steering committee to try to work toward that. But kind of a funny story about NACADA itself was when we were chartered and introduced that at what was then the third national conference. Before we went out to introduce this to everybody and announced that we were now an official organization and had been chartered, we argued about how to pronounce NACADA. And people still use NACADA, NACADA, different kinds of pronunciations. There are probably more that they've used as well, but we settled on NACADA as the, quote, official publication. Well, thinking back over 42 years is, in a way, very difficult, but in another sense, very easy. I think one of the most memorable experiences was that first conference, when people who were there, and certainly myself included, just observed the energy that people had about advising. This was the first national conference that ever occurred on academic advising. Before that, it was very hard to even get a program accepted at any kind of a national conference. Just witnessing that energy and then to think back through the 42 years to where we are today, that's a very significant memory for me to know that happened. Well, I've been able to observe the association for all these years because I still stay as involved as I can. I've been on the journal editorial board, well, actually since the journal started. And have been to every conference, so I keep my eyes and ears open all the time to see what's going on and to see the growth that we've had in membership, in programming, in publications, in influences with other and partnerships with other higher education associations and so forth. Were all things we dreamed about back in the beginning, but they keep happening, and I think that again sort of exemplifies that energy that we had at that first conference that just continues. And it's been always has a reputation being a very friendly and open association that people feel very welcome when they come to a conference for the first time. And those kinds of things I think are very important, and they have been sustained, and I think will certainly continue. When I started in higher education, it was almost by accident, and I got into academic advising by accident also, but really found a home in where that I enjoyed, participating in, and saw the value in it. So it just kind of consumed me from that point on, because the only association that had any interest in academic advising was the ACPA, American College Personnel Association, and that was the only place that you could get a conference program accepted. The thing that we're still lacking, if anything, I think is just more research. So I would like to see more research, more thinking about academic advising and showing the connections that it makes with so many students, with so many faculty, with so many other entities on campuses that have that student success goal to meet. So I think the more we can demonstrate that, rather than just by doing it, but by researching it and thinking about it and writing more about it and getting other people to think about it, I think is what we probably will be focusing on. So the research effort, the scholarly inquiry effort, the terminology we use now. So that's where I think we'll be headed for a while. I don't know if it'll be another 40 years, but it's going to be for a while and needed. It's the step that we need to move ahead with.